Hey, this is Mr. Elmhorst with the Unit 5 Equations and Inequalities Test Review. Hey, welcome back from the Thanksgiving break. Hope everyone had a nice, restful holiday. So looking at question number 1, first thing we want to do is write the equation that is modeled. So we have 2x plus 6, which is equal to 3. First things first, we want to set up our equation solving process. Circle your variable term, and then draw a line down through the equal sign separating the left side and right side. So we want to start by adding or subtracting to solve. Step 1, we do the inverse of adding 6. We subtract 6 from both sides. Bring your variable term down to step 2. And if you have positive 3 and subtract 6, you're going to end up at negative 3. So then down here, step 2, we're multiplying by 2. So we're going to divide to solve. Divide both sides by 2. So now we have x is equal to negative 1 and 1/2 or negative 1.5. Yeah. Number 2, we're going to start with the equation. We're not going to do anything as far as moving it around. We're going to start with solving. Write down your equation as is. Set it up for solving. Draw a line down separating left side and right side. Circle your variable term. Now we're going to start on the side with the variable. The variable is on the right, so we're going to start with the inverse of having positive 12.5 or adding 12.5. So we're going to subtract 12.5 from both sides, and we have the variable term by itself on the right side, and then we are left with 13 on the left. 4 is multiplying x, so we're going to inverse and divide both sides by 4. So now we have x is equal to 3 and 1/4. 3 and 1/4 simplifies to 3.25. Okay, looking at number 3, we're going to use our setting up to solve process. Separate the left side from the right side, and then circle your variable term. So we're going to start on the side with the variable, which is the left side, and we're going to do the opposite of subtracting 80 or minus 80, and we're going to do that to both sides. So we cancel the negative 80 with 80 positives, and then bring 2x down to the next level, and we have negative 50 being combined with positive 80. So if these were all negative, you would have negative 130. If they're all positive, you'd have positive 130. They're not all negative, they're not all positive. Different signs mean find the difference. The difference between 50 and 80 is 30. There's more positives, so your answer or the step here is going to be positive 30. Now we divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 30 divided by 2. For this next one, we want to see which one is true. One of the best ways to do this is, instead of solving all these, take the letter x out and then put in 5. So this would be 2 times 5 plus 4, which is going to be 14 less than 12. And then we do that for each one of these. All of these are the same expression, so you're going to end up with 14, 14, 14. And then 12, 12, 12. So what are we going to do to check to see which one is true? We're going to look at the comparison symbol. So this one says 14 is less than 12. Okay, that's not true. 14 is greater than 12. Yes, that is true. 14 is less than 12. That is not true. 14 is greater than 12. Both of those statements are true statements if you take out the letter x and then you put in 5. Which model shows where x equals 1? So if you take out x and you put in 1, visually you could substitute and then solve. So this would be 3 equals 5. That's not true. Here, this is 4 equals 4. That is true. This one is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 equals 1. That is not true. And then 2 equals 8. 2 does not equal 8. So if you substitute and check, or if you solve, divide by 4, x equals 1. Okay, number 6. We're looking to see where is the variable term, and is the variable term positive or negative? So we circle our variable term, and if it's positive and on the left side, then we can just bring the symbol down in our answer. So we don't have to flip anything. So now we use inverse operations. 3m is greater than 15. We go to step 2. The opposite of multiplying by 3 is dividing by 3. So m is greater than 15 divided by 3. There's an equation that's modeled here. There's an understanding that when they are equal length, what it's saying is 22 is equal to this down below. So you write it out. Down below, it is t plus 12, which is equal to 22. No matter which way you write it, it's both going to be balanced. T and 12 together is equal to 22. So you're going to fill that out here and then solve. Circle your variable term, subtract 12 from both sides, bring your variable down, your equal sign down, and then 22 minus 12. At number 8, we're going to set our equation up for solving, our inequality. Write it as you see it, and then we set it up to solve. Circle your variable term, and then separate the left side from the right side. Gonna add 4 to both sides. Bring the variable term down to step 2, and negative 8 plus 4 means you're getting less negative. It is not negative 12, it's not positive 12, they're not all the same thing. They're different, so find the difference. Now, the opposite of dividing by 5 is multiplying by 5. So because your variable term is positive and it's on the left side, your symbol is not going to switch or change. And then solve 5 times negative 4. Okay, looking at number 9, we're going to write down the inequality as we see it. Set it up to solve, separate the left side and the right side, circle your variable term. This is only one step to solve. The opposite of adding 12 or having positive 12 is subtracting 12. After step 1, we bring the variable term down, we bring our sign down, and then you have negatives with negatives, which is going to give us negative 16. Now, the variable term is positive, it's on the left, so your arrow is going in the direction and it's shaded. Yeah, taking a look at number 10, we have a percent. We need to take the percent and make it into a fraction by putting it over 100. And then we simplify by knowing our factors of 36 and 100. 4 times 9 is 36, and 4 times 25 is 100. Simplifying means taking the factor out, and then we write the fraction in lowest terms. We got 2g plus 12 is less than or equal to negative 8. We're going to set up and solve by circling a variable term and then separating the left side and right side. Subtract 12 from both sides. We have 2g less than or equal to. Because these are all negative, we're going to add them and combine. So we have negative 20. And then we divide both sides by 2. G is less than or equal to negative 20 divided by 2. We have our variable term, 1/4 times x plus 40 is less than or equal to 60. Circle the variable term, bring the symbol down, and we're going to start by solving with subtracting 40 to cancel the adding of 40. Bring the variable term down to step 2, and the opposite of multiplying by 1/4 is multiplying by 4 over 1. So we're going to use the reciprocal of 1/4. 1/4 times 4 is going to cancel and give you 1. So now you have x is less than or equal to 20 times 4. Just doing a couple throwback questions here. Negative 6 parentheses 2 means multiply. So we got negative 6 times 2 is going to be negative 12 minus 8. And negative 12 minus 8 means you're adding more negatives. Subtracting positives means you're getting more negatives. So we should end up with negative 20. And there's a lot going on in this one. So let's write it out. Negative 10 minus negative 4 minus 22 plus 35. So as soon as we see the subtraction here, subtracting negatives means you're getting more positive. And here we're subtracting 22, which means you're getting more negatives. So if you want to combine like terms, you can do that. 4 positives and 35 positives is going to be 39 positives. And then we have 10 negatives and 22 negatives, which is a total of negative 32. And the last one for the review, the little dot in the middle means multiplying. So negative 7 times 2 is negative 14. We got negative 14 minus 16. Subtracting 16 means you're getting more negatives. So altogether, you're going to have negative 30. And up here, we have negative 12 minus negative 5, which is the same as negative 12 plus 5 plus 24 minus 6. So if you want to combine the positives, 24 plus 5 is 29. And then we have 12 negatives and 6 negatives. So it'd be 29 minus 18.